MP. Mr. Speaker, the tentative business for the afternoon sitting on Wednesday, 30th July 2025 will include business not concluded from Tuesday's order paper and the following businesses. A, bills that are at the second reading stage. The county government's state officers removal from office procedure bill, the county government's Senate bills number 39 of 2024, and the street naming and property addressing systems bill, Senate bills number 43 of 2024. B, bills that are at the committee of the whole, namely 1, the early childhood education bill, the local content bill, the street vendors bill, the county library services bill. The labor migration management bill, the sports bill, the public fundraising appeals bill, the heritage museums bill, the environment laws bill, the statutory instruments bill, the county government's elections laws bill, the sports amendment bill, Senate bill number 45 of 2004. And then C, motions. 1, report of the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations on its inquiry into the state of markets in Vihiga and Bungoma counties arising from a statement sought by Senators G. Osotsi, MP, and David Wakoli, MP. 2, progress report of the Standing Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity, and Regional Integration on an inquiry into the diversity and inclusivity in the staff composition of state agencies in Kenya, and 3, report of the Standing Committee on Energy on the county oversight and networking engagements in Wajir County. Mr. Speaker, sir, the projected business for Thursday, 1st July 2025 will include business not concluded for Wednesday's order papers and any other business scheduled by the certain business committee. And finally, Mr. Speaker, I thank you and do hereby lay this statement on the table of the Senate. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, Honorable Senators, I will allow comments for 20 minutes. If you get the floor, kindly take not more than 2 minutes to contribute. Senator Fonande, Senator Chirake.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. I want to support the statement by Senator for Nairobi on the issue of accommodation among our students, Mr. Speaker. For some of us who have been to university, you can imagine the deplorable. Mr. Speaker, even the slums looks better than most of the hostels that we are seeing in most of these universities, Mr. Speaker. And even the exorbitant prices of over 40,000, yet there is no substantive work that has been done, Mr. Speaker. Can you believe most of our universities, you still find kunguni, or what is it called in English, bed bugs, Mr. Speaker? Our comrades are being eaten by bed bugs, Mr. Speaker. Can you believe? And this is the hub of serious knowledge engagement and discourse, Mr. Speaker. It can confuse, the bed bugs are confusing and making the sleep of comrades restless, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we used to have a say that when the help used to come, you eat like a king. You eat the chicken, then you eat what the chicken eats, and then you eat the chicken itself, Mr. Speaker. So it's very unfortunate, Mr. Speaker. I want to appeal that under the affordable housing program, the government must include the university hostels, Mr. Speaker, to make life bearable for the comrades, Mr. Speaker. I felt very bad that they were demonstrating over basic. In fact, we should be discussing in our universities, Mr. Speaker, about the innovation and scientific issues. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to agree with Senator Onyonga on the issue of Chinese, Mr. Speaker. I had a legislative proposal that contracts above 1 billion, below 1 billion, Mr. Speaker, should exclusively belong to Kenyans, Mr. Speaker. Can you believe Chinese and other nationals are doing contracts of 300 million, 200 million? What will happen to our local contractors, Mr. Speaker? I want to challenge Finance and Budget Committee to approve my legislative proposal that 1 billion and below should exclusively belong to Kenyans, Mr. Speaker, and I support all these statements. I thank you, Speaker, sir.
Senator Wambua.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of the statement by Senator Sifuna on the matter of the cases of killings happening at Kenyatta National Hospital. Mr. Speaker, it is a very, very sad situation that the biggest teaching and referral hospital in Kenya, where patients are supposed to feel safe and secure, they are now living under fear because they don't know who is the next to be attacked within the facility. The Speaker, something needs to be done, and be done very, very quick to salvage the image of that institution. The Speaker, talking about safety. The Speaker, even in our own precincts in Parliament, the Speaker, I had an incident this afternoon. I was sitting having lunch with a colleague, and somebody walks to us and says to me that, "You look familiar. Are you a member of some funny organization that he mentioned? I don't know which one." I said, "I'm not." And he says, "I'm sorry, I thought you were the one." And he goes, Mr. Speaker, we also need to ensure that members within the precincts of Parliament are also safe. We are having a lot of people accessing the precincts of Parliament, which is okay, Mr. Speaker, but it should be done in a way that we are also safe and secure. We don't want a situation like the ones happening at Kenyatta National Hospital to happen within the precincts of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, that should be taken very, very seriously. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Boni.
The issue raised by the Senator of Nairobi on the cost of accommodation at the university is very serious. In fact, Mr. Speaker, I would like that the committee goes further and looks into the new funding model. But with this increment, even with the government paying the higher fee, using the means of testing, children are not able to pay. We have to look at it critically and ask ourselves, do we want this to be a country of people who come from the wash background, or do we want a country that will have young professionals like Eddie, good education, a guy who may...
Senator Kavindu. Senator Kavindu.
Asante Bwana Spika kwa kunipa fursa hii nichangie kwenye statement hizi, and especially hii imeletwa na Sifuna, seneta wa Nairobi, kuhusu usalama wa wagonjwa pale Kenyatta National Hospital. Bwana Spika, inahuzunisha sana kwa sababu mgonjwa utoka nyumbani aende hospitalini, atibiwe, apone, aregee nyumbani akiwa mzima. Lakini Bwana Spika, ni ajabu ya kwamba hata sasa hivi wagonjwa wale wako pale hospitalini wakikumbuka ya kwamba wawili wamechinjwa pale kama ng'ombe, kama mbuzi, mtu anakatwa shingo kabisa mpaka kufa na ako hospitalini, hata kupona kwao itakuwa si rahisi sana, kwa sababu wako na hofu ya kwamba wao ndio watachinjwa next. Bwana Spika, tuko na security wengi sana, na sioni ni kwa nini hata hii ministry ya health hawawezi kuitisha security wa kutosha kukaa pale ili kulinda usalama wa wagonjwa. Na hii inamaanisha kwamba hata sisi tukitembea huku nje na kila mahali pengine hakuna usalama kwa sababu ya hao watu ambao ni waovu. Na pia hii ya kwamba Bwana Spika, wagonjwa wanapona wanakaa pale hospitalini bila kuwa discharge. Wengine wao wanasemekana wana kwao. Hakuna mtu ambaye hana kwao. Na pia serikali inatakana iangalie watu kama wale, iwajengee homes za kuweza kupelekwa na kukaa pale kama nyumbani. Na wale ambao hawaondoki hospitalini kwa sababu ya kukosa
Senator Chute.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise in support of the statement by Senator Onyonka. Honorable Speaker, he brought up some very important issues. The issue is not a problem in Kiambu only, the road on Kiambu. It is in the country. The problem we are faced with is Chinese companies are being given contracts. You can find Chinese traders doing some work, doing in markets like Chuka, Meru, Marsabit, Chinese. And Honorable Speaker, there is an issue brought by Cherargei. He says anything above, anything below 1 billion should be done by locals. Honorable Speaker, the companies that are working in Kenya today on roads and building are mainly Chinese. And if you look at those companies, Kenyan companies who are working in Kenya, have got pending bills to the tune of, in the counties, about 156 billion. Nationally, 426 billion. Most of these monies are supposed to be paid to local contractors. The Chinese contractors can afford to wait for the monies because they are being financed by the government. What about the local contractors? They are suffering. Honorable Speaker, the other days there was a riot in Kenya. The shops were looted. People are complaining about shops that are looted. Unfortunately, that is a problem, yes. But after a few days, the insurance compensated them. Honorable Speaker, local contractors are being given jobs and they are not being paid. There is no insurance that will pay for monies that are supposed to be paid by the government. So, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Richard Onyonka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The point that I wanted to contribute to is the issue that the question that has been asked about why the universities are increasing university accommodation fees. Mr. Speaker, it is true that we in the opposition sometimes just talk about the problem. So today I want to give a solution to the government. All these affordable housing units which the government is doing, which nobody wants, why can't the government do hostels in all our universities in the Republic of Kenya? Because if you do these hostels, we know the rent is not going to be more than 5,000 per month. And these hostels will pay for themselves because the parents are already paying anyway. Why are we building houses in places like when I went to Senator Methu's constituency in Nyandarua, in some place where you find there are trees and cows and there were no people there at all? Can we please build hostels for our universities and even our secondary schools, because the government can recover the money? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Murgo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to also air my views. I support the statement made by the Senator of Nairobi about increase of hostel fees in our universities. Mr. Speaker, a member has just said that this will mean that the students of the well-to-do, the students of, or children of well-to-do and children of the people that are able to pay will be the ones that will be homed in those hostels. And therefore, children of poor people, commoners, will not be accommodated in the hostels in our universities. And therefore, that will drive children of the common Mwananchi into places that are not desirable, and running into many situations in streets that are not likable, and therefore the children of the commoners will suffer and probably drop out of universities because their parents cannot afford. And so this is heading the wrong way. Thank you very much.
Now, honorable senators, before I call the next member to speak, allow me to make this communication. I would like to acknowledge the presence in the gallery this afternoon of visiting students and leaders, student leaders and members of the Young Diplomats Forum from the United States International University, Africa. The delegation comprises 40 student leaders, including the members of the student government, electoral college and cabinet, as well as participants of the Young Diplomat Forum. The delegation
So some of them are very senior members here. Nobody is stamping. It's only me who did not want to speak.
Tradition that when delegations come to visit us, we must buy them lunch. And now that you have insisted on the traditions of this house, the students from the USIU must know that lunch today will be from the Senator for Mayor. Honorable Speaker, yes, and if he tries to feed you any brown beans, tell him in Nairobi only recognize KFC. So, Honorable Speaker, I want to take this opportunity on behalf of the House to welcome the student leaders from USIU. Indeed, I have many friends from USIU, this institution. My liaison officer, Karen, is one of those people who has maintained close relationships with this university. Honorable Speaker, it has produced some very good young people. My own brother went to USIU. It is one of those institutions that has excelled, exemplified itself in putting out young people who are able to take this country forward in terms of their contribution. We are discussing a very important issue about student accommodation in public universities. At least for you, Honorable Speaker, there has been a lot of investment from private funds to put up accommodation, student accommodation, especially at these private universities. You know about Kwetu hostels, you know about Nyumbani and the others. So we want the same standards to be maintained for your colleagues or counterparts in the public university, and we are hoping that they will get an equal opportunity at education that all of us got to the neighbor's house.
It is completely demeaning and unbecoming, Mr. Speaker, for us to be flashing and doing commercial transactions in this very hallowed chamber.
Senator for Homa Bay, unfortunately, the Speaker did not see it. And for me to rule on that matter, it requires evidence. And you know, if you need to require evidence, you know the route we'll take. We'll have to put the Deputy Speaker under oath so that he can also defend himself. A route that is not that desirable. So let's leave the matter where it is. Proceed, Senator Mazaya.
Asante, Mstahiki Speaker. Mstahiki Speaker, kwanza nataka kumpatia kongole ndugu yangu Sifuna kwa sababu ya ni jambo la kusikitisha kwamba mtu anaweza kukatwa kama kuku. Kichwa kinakatwa, kinatolewa, na alafu huyo mtu aliyefanya namna hiyo hawezi kushikwa, akapelekwa kotini, ama akashikwa, ama akaonekana na kila mtu. Paka hivi juzi wameshika mtu ambaye hatujui kama ni yeye ama si yeye. Huyo mtu ameshakataa hiyo maneno, akasema si yeye. Sasa tunauliza kitu kimoja. Tunataka Bwana Spika, tunataka serikali jambo kama hili, na hii komiti ambayo itapewa hii taarifa ili iweze kuchukua hatua na kuangalia ni nini. Bwana Spika, ni jambo la kusikitisha hivi sasa tukisema ya kwamba hakuna utetezi wa aina yoyote kwa wagonjwa ndani ya Kenyatta National Hospital. Nataka hatua ichukuliwe haraka iwezekanavyo ili wale wagonjwa yoyote atakaye kwenda pale awe ana uhakika wa maisha yake na ugonjwa wake atatibiwa kisawasawa na atapona na atarudi nyumbani. Asante Bwana Spika.
Senator Kisang.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to comment on the statement by Senator Jute on sharing of data between telecommunication operators and the security system. Honorable Speaker, we passed a law 2019, the Data Protection Act, and it's very clear that if the telcos have to share any data, they have to get access either by consent by the concerned persons or through a court order, Honorable Speaker. So this is a very important statement so that we know what has been happening. So that, because, you know, we are exposed. We don't want to be exposed, and there is a law that is already protecting us, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the second statement I wanted to comment on is the one by Senator Odinga, Honorable Speaker, that between Mudaika and Kiambu, they want to do a dual carriage, and it is the tender is restricted only to Chinese. Honorable Speaker, about 2020 or so, we passed a law both in this House and National Assembly that all...
They go ahead and do the financing. They go ahead and get their companies to do the implementation. And all the materials also come from those nationalities. That is not the way of building an economy. We need to build roads. We need to build railways. But the raw material must come from this country. The labor element should come from this country. Mr. Speaker, it is sad if for a road project, you find that the insurance for products is being underwritten in foreign countries. The financing and interest and the value that comes out of it comes from foreign countries. Mr. Speaker, I agree with Kenya's political position on geopolitics, that we face neither east nor west. We face forward, but we need to be careful about being boxed and about ring-fencing jobs and contracts that can be done by locals. And I hope that the committee will expand their inquiry beyond China and look at arrangements with the Americans, arrangements with the British, particularly when it comes to military procurement and military supplies. Mr. Speaker, we must believe in this country and we must support our local entrepreneurs and industry. Thank you.
Senator Abbas.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to support, contribute to the statement by Honorable Sifuna. Honorable Speaker, I think increasing the cost or the living of or rents for the students is actually going to be very dangerous. And it's going, you know, universities, all people converge from different corners of this country, and most of the students cannot even afford housing. And many of them now will end up into, you know, living into formal settlements, and they adapt a lot of funny characters. So most of them, because they are not even exposed so much to life in Nairobi. And therefore, many will be now prejudiced even their life. You see, many ladies are now, young ladies are being killed in the hostels, funny hostels and hotels and lodges. So I think increasing the rents, I mean the hostels money is not proper. And I think it's advisable that currently we have so many low-cost houses being built. The university now should be given some of these houses so that they can be able to provide a subsidized accommodation to the university students. Also, I want to support the settlement of Honorable Chute. Honorable Speaker, these days we have what we call data communication authority. And therefore, we need to protect the data of our communication that has been done by the people. I think we need this also, this constitutional right to have privacy for all the data that we have. These days you see many people have been kidnapped and they're in the funny places and they've been taken all corners of the world, of the country, and therefore, as a result of that, we need our data to be protected. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.